Welcome back to our channel. Today, we are diving into the O-Level Biology 5090 Paper 1 questions from the May-June 2016 session. If you're preparing for your exams or just looking to brush up on your biology knowledge, you're in the right place. Let's get started by reviewing the next set of questions. We'll break down each question, discuss the possible options, and provide detailed explanations to help you understand the key concepts. For our first question, we'll look at the diagram of the human gas exchange system. The question asks, which structure is labeled as the trachea? The correct answer is D. The trachea is the primary airway that conducts air from the larynx to the bronchi. It is a rigid, cylindrical tube supported by cartilage rings to keep it open, ensuring a clear passage for air. In the diagram, it appears as the large, vertical tube that extends from the larynx. Option A is larynx. This is the voice box, positioned just above the trachea. It plays a key role in sound production and serves as the initial passageway for air entering the trachea. B is bronchus. These are the main branches that stem from the trachea and lead into each lung. They split further into smaller branches and are crucial for directing air to different parts of the lungs. C is bronchioles. These are the even smaller branches that extend from the bronchi within the lungs. They lead to the alveoli, where gas exchange occurs. Understanding these components helps us see how air travels through the respiratory system, from entering through the larynx to being distributed through the trachea, bronchi, and bronchioles. Now let's dive into our next question about the human gas exchange system. Take a look at the diagram showing parts of the respiratory system. We need to identify the labeled structures by matching the number with the structure labels correctly. Therefore, the larynx, 2, is the voice box at the top of the airway system. The trachea, 1, is the main airway that extends downward from the larynx. The bronchus, 3, branches off from the trachea and enters the lungs. The bronchiole, 4, are smaller branches within the lungs that lead to the alveoli. So, matching these structures correctly, the right answer is B, 2 1 3 4. This sequence accurately reflects the path of air from the larynx through the trachea, into the bronchi, and finally to the bronchioles. In the next question, we'll explore the muscles involved in the process of breathing. Let's dive into a question to see what we know about this vital function. The question is, which muscles are contracting during the process of inhalation? Here are your options. A, P and Q. B, Q and R. C, P and R. D, P, Q and R. The correct answer is C, P and R. Let's break it down. During inhalation, two key muscles are at work. Firstly, R represents the diaphragm, which is a large, dome-shaped muscle located at the base of the thoracic cavity. When you inhale, the diaphragm contracts and moves downward, increasing the volume of the thoracic cavity and allowing air to flow into the lungs. Secondly, P stands for the external intercostal muscles, located between the ribs. These muscles also contract during inhalation, causing the ribs to lift and expand outward, further aiding in the expansion of the chest cavity. Together, the contraction of the diaphragm and the external intercostal muscles creates a negative pressure within the thoracic cavity, drawing air into the lungs. So, the correct choice is indeed C, P and R, where P and R represent the external intercostal muscles and the diaphragm, respectively. Now let's take a closer look at a question about changes in lung volume over time. The diagram provided shows how the volume of air in a person's lungs changes over a 2-minute period, with specific points labeled X and Y. We need to determine what could cause the change in the pattern of the graph between these points. Here are the options to choose from. Option A * changing from running to walking. Option B * changing from walking to running. Option C * increased frequency of contractions of the internal intercostal muscles. Option D * increased strength of contractions of the internal intercostal muscles. Now, let's break down each option. Option A * changing from running to walking would generally lead to a decrease in the breathing rate and a gradual adjustment in lung volume. This doesn't usually cause a sudden change in the pattern of the graph. Option B * changing from walking to running increases the body's demand for oxygen. When a person shifts from walking to running, their breathing rate and depth increase significantly to meet this higher oxygen demand. This transition often causes a more pronounced change in the lung volume pattern, which can be reflected in the graph as a noticeable shift between points X and Y. Option C** increased frequency of contractions of the internal intercostal muscles would lead to faster expiration, but this effect typically results in a more gradual change in the lung volume pattern, not a sudden shift. Option D** increased strength of contractions of the internal intercostal muscles might lead to more forceful expiration, but again, this would likely show a steeper slope rather than a sudden change in the pattern. Given these explanations, option B, changing from walking to running, is the best answer. This transition results in a significant increase in breathing rate and depth, causing a noticeable change in the lung volume pattern on the graph. In this question we are going to explore which of the following processes rely on respiration. Let's break it down and find out. First, let's consider the movement of water into cells. This process is known as osmosis and is driven by differences in water concentration across cell membranes. It does not directly depend on respiration. Next, we have muscle contraction. For our muscles to contract, they need energy in the form of ATP. This ATP is produced through cellular respiration. So, respiration is crucial for muscle contraction. Lastly, we look at protein synthesis. This essential process, where cells build proteins, also requires energy. This energy comes from ATP, which is generated through respiration. Hence, respiration is necessary for protein synthesis as well. Now, putting it all together, we find that respiration is not needed for the movement of water into cells, but it is vital for both muscle contraction and protein synthesis. So, the correct answer is D, 2 and 3. Muscle contraction and protein synthesis both rely on the energy provided by respiration. In this question, which statement about the elbow joint is true? Here are your options. A. If the biceps contracts, the triceps must relax. B. The biceps and triceps can both be partially contracted. C. When the biceps relaxes, it returns at once to its original length. D. When the biceps contracts, it straightens the arm at the elbow. The correct answer is B. The biceps and triceps can both be partially contracted. Now, let's explain why this is the right choice. Option A suggests that when the biceps contract, the triceps must fully relax. While it's true that the triceps usually relax to allow the biceps to contract, they don't completely stop contracting. They maintain some level of tension to stabilize the elbow joint. Option C states that when the biceps relax, it returns immediately to its original length. However, muscles don't return to their original length instantly. They gradually return to their resting state. Option D claims that when the biceps contract, it straightens the arm at the elbow. This is incorrect because the biceps are responsible for bending the arm at the elbow, not straightening it. The triceps are responsible for straightening the arm. So, the correct answer is B. The biceps and triceps can both be partially contracted simultaneously. This coactivation allows for precise control and stability of the elbow joint during various movements. In this question we are exploring how the biceps and triceps muscles control movement at the elbow joint. Let's dive into a question about their roles. The question is, how do the biceps and triceps muscles cause movement at the elbow joint? Options *. A. Biceps contract, arm bends up, triceps contract, arm straightens. B. Biceps contract, arm straightens, triceps contract, arm bends up. C. Biceps relax, arm bends up, triceps relax, arm straightens. D. Biceps relax, arm straightens, triceps relax, arm bends up. The correct answer is A. Biceps contract, arm bends up, triceps contract, arm straightens. This is because when the biceps brachii, located on the front of your upper arm, contract, they cause the elbow to flex, or bend, bringing your forearm closer to your upper arm. On the other hand, when the triceps brachii, found on the back of your upper arm, contract, they extend the elbow, straightening the arm. So, the biceps are responsible for bending the arm, and the triceps are responsible for straightening it. The next question is, during a sunny day, which substance is excreted from a leaf? Here are your options. A. Carbon dioxide. B. Nitrogen. C. Oxygen. D. Sucrose. The correct choice is C. Oxygen. This is because during the day, when there is plenty of sunlight, leaves carry out photosynthesis. This process involves the leaf taking in carbon dioxide from the air and water from the soil. Using the energy from sunlight, the leaf then converts these into glucose, a type of sugar used for energy, and oxygen. The oxygen produced is released into the atmosphere as a byproduct. So, on a sunny day, the main substance that leaves excrete into the air is oxygen. In this question we are examining the human urinary system. Let's dive into a specific question based on the diagram you see on your screen. Which labeled structure in the diagram is the ureter? A, B, C or D? Let's break it down. The renal vein, labeled as A, carries blood away from the kidney. The renal artery, labeled as B, brings blood to the kidneys. The urethra, labeled as C, is the tube through which urine exits the body. The correct answer is D, ureter. The ureter is the tube that transports urine from the kidneys to the bladder. It connects to the kidneys and extends to the bladder, which stores urine until it's ready to be expelled. In summary, the ureter is crucial for carrying urine from your kidneys to your bladder. Thank you for watching. I hope you found this video helpful. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more educational content. If you have any questions or need further assistance, feel free to leave a comment below. See you in the next video.